Welcome, everyone, to this noontime broadcast on the East Coast of Talented Universe on November 7th, 2025. We have a nice special guest today, but first I want to introduce my co-host today. Liz, how are you doing today?
I am doing absolutely spectacular. And in case you didn't notice, it came last night, my necklace from
Oh,
Eric.
it did. Oh, my
Yes, it
goodness.
did.
That is
Uh,
sad. You're going to be, never mind.
oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Marcia, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's hard to believe it's almost the end of the year already.
I know. It's just like craziness.
But super happy to be here.
Well, yeah, we're all happy to be here too. Well, I would like to introduce our guest, and hopefully I don't butcher his last name, but I don't think I will because I believe is it the Spanish pronunciation?
Yeah, if you can do the Spanish one.
I hopefully can. It's been a while. Jason Caceres.
Yep, pretty good.
Pretty close. Yeah, I might have not got the accent right, but I wasn't sure. But no, it's been a while.
Tell people to say Caceres in English because the Spanish is there's a little inflection that most people.
Well, I know, but it was like I wasn't sure if there was the extra accents. That's why I wasn't sure. So
you killed it.
Okay, that's good. But we're so happy that you're here, and I'm going to get my silly question out of the way first. When you started Verticals, and you've done quite a few, if I see that correctly.
I just wrapped number 73 yesterday.
Yikes.
Yeah, I thought it was up there because I saw something else you had written in one of your posts, and I went, he's done that many? Wow. So you keep busy. But anyway, after you did, so when did you start? Let me ask you that first, and I can word this question I'm going to do correctly.
So my first vertical, I kind of fell into them accidentally because I had no idea what they were at the beginning. And it was pretty early on. My first one was December 2023.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah. It's been a while. That's why I've racked up so many.
Well, that makes sense. But okay, so here's my question. After you did your first one, and obviously you had shell shock yourself. And you told friends, family, whatever, that when they asked you what you were doing, and you told them you were doing a vertical drama, and they gave you that funny look, like, what are you talking about? How did you explain it to them?
So I was just as confused as the people I was telling, because there wasn't a lot of like marketing around these initially.
No,
there wasn't.
So the first one I was in was called The Return, and had a small little day player role. Brooke Moultram was the lead. I showed up. I was playing a photographer. She was very, very sweet. And I remember texting my partner. I was like, I'm not sure what this is. Like the camera's on its side, which is strange because that's how they get the
yes, exactly, the framing correctly.
Yeah, so the camera's on its side, which is strange. And I had been in a few like Instagram reels. I've done a few Darman skits. They're all verticals also, but they're like one-offs. You do a skit, it lasts a day, it's up. The skit's maybe like 30 seconds to a minute long, and there's no continuation to the story.
Yeah.
So Brooke actually helped explain to me what was happening because I was confused, and I asked her on set. It was her second one. She had just done a vampire werewolf witch one where she played a witch. So
yeah, I remember that one.
You're familiar? You saw it?
Oh yeah. Liz has seen a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
she's our resident expert.
I wouldn't go that far. But
I would. Compared to Marcia and I, yes, you are.
You've probably seen more than I've been in, which is quite
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I started back when they were still doing all the stuff coming out from China. So I was actually into the vertical scene before it ever hit the U.S. markets.
So you watched them in Chinese?
In Chinese, yeah, in Mandarin.
Oh my God, you are a hardcore fan.
Yes.
That's
He's
really
OG.
Yeah, that's impressive. But back when they started, they weren't even called verticals on our are casting breakdown websites. There's a few websites that actors use to look for auditions and jobs. They were labeled as mobisodes.
Mhm.
So we didn't even really understand the vertical concept when I started them. And then slowly the language started shifting from mobisodes to webisodes to vertical shorts. And now I believe it says vertical series on the breakdown sites. So eventually I learned that they are basically like a full hour long film that's been cut into 1 minute episodes. And it's been serialized to keep people hooked. So that's kind of how I explain it to people. My parents still don't really understand what they are, especially because, they're a bit older. English isn't their first language. So there's a little bit of a barrier to entry there. So they're not really sure how to download the apps. So they just watch the clips that I post on my Instagram.
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very interesting story because you were in it way early.
Yeah, from I don't want to say from the beginning because I know they've been around for maybe 3-ish years, but I would say
at least the US ones, So.
Yeah. Which they're fun. They're usually pretty quick. I play a lot of supporting characters, which is why I can do so many. Because the leads are on set the
whole time.
9 to 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there for 2-3 days. The most I've done is maybe 6 days as a supporting character, and then I'm off to another one. So by the time they finish one, I can do 4, which is why it adds up so quickly.
Well, that makes total sense. Do you like it that way, or would you like to play some leads more?
I am of two minds when it comes to this question. I would definitely like to do a lead role eventually. It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they also don't get their scripts until the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And the leads
or in the makeup chair.
And the leads talk a lot, and we shoot 14 to 16 pages a day, which is unheard of. That's not how television works at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very strenuous. It's 12-hour days, back to back. You don't get a lot of time to sleep, work out, go to the gym. And I'm someone who's very focused on my fitness. So I feel like that would stress me out a little bit. I kind of like being able to hop around because it gives me a little bit more freedom. Sometimes I'm on set for 3 hours, sometimes 12 hours. But that gives me time to pursue
other things.
Pursue other activities, go to the gym, spend time with my partner, my friends, do other self-tape auditions for other projects.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Always,
I would
always something to do. So
yes, yeah. I would maybe like to do one lead, but I kind of like popping in and out, being like, "Peace, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye."
Yeah, bye.
See you again. Well, we do have someone in the chat room. They're just saying hi, so I'm going to throw it up, and then I'm going to go to Marsha. Shaka Boom Shaka Locks says, "Hey,
Great
Jason."
Great name.
So that's that. Oh, so Marsha, I'm going to go to you.
I'm still looking at that name. That name is really great.
Well, you want me to throw it back up again, Marsha, so you can look at it again?
That's fantastic.
I love it. But so Jason, researching you has been a lot of fun because you were an early kind of adopter of social media shorts, and so you created a lot of comedy shorts on them and have them posted, so we have the pleasure of looking at them.
I'm so sorry for everything you saw.
Well, for instance, your couch potato.
Oh my god. That is wow, you guys scrolled really far back.
We have a Wayback Machine that we use all the time.
Yeah. But I've got an embarrassing one for you too about that same time, but I'm going to let Marsha finish her stuff. But beware.
Oh, no.
I should have warned you, Jason.
You know what? I love it. Keeping me on my toes.
But yeah, the idea for doing that and the ideas, how did they come about? Do you kind of remember?
Yeah, so that came about when I first moved to Los Angeles. Social media was kind of booming, and I went to school for theater performance. Back in Florida. I went to the New York Film Academy for film acting. So the goal was always acting. But then I moved to Los Angeles, and there was this shift happening where if you wanted to be an actor, there was more of an emphasis and a focus on, well, how many people are following you? Who cares where you studied?
Yeah.
How many people are watching you? So it's like, okay, well, I have a lot of time on my hands, as you saw. One of the downsides of being an actor is you'll book a project and you don't know when your next one is coming. So you're kind of just like floating around in the meantime, taking classes, working out. So it's like, why not start a YouTube channel with my free time and show people what it's like behind the scenes trying to make it as an actor. So at that time, there was a lot of YouTubers that were pretty prominent. And I kind of used them as a model to follow. So there were sometimes like the one coming to mind is the yoga challenge. So I did the yoga challenge with my dad on YouTube. There was like Americans trying Mexican snacks. So I did
Yeah.
Americans trying Asian snacks. And it was just a way to keep busy while trying to build an audience that would eventually watch my roles as an actor. I don't know if it's been successful, but I did that for 10 years. I was doing YouTube videos for 10 years. I put them out it used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday when I first started. Then it became Monday. Then it became every other Monday. And slowly as time went on and I got older, it kind of phased out. And I started working more as an actor. So I had less time to engage in these shenanigans, let's call them.
That's a perfect word, shenanigans.
They
Actually,
were shenaniganing.
and speaking of shenanigans, your series, the series of How to Survive High School, which I watched, was, and you certainly got a ton of views and on hilarious series.
Yes,
And that was early as well.
it was. That was the first, I guess, series as a series regular that I ever booked. It was on Ava Katowski's channel. She had a channel called My Life
Yes.
with Ava. She had, I think it was like 9 million subscribers at the time or something like that.
Incredible amount.
Huge. So that was my first, like, I would say big role. And that's how I obtained the majority of my current following still from that series. Nowhere near 9 million like she has, of course. But that was fun. I played her gay best friend, Juan.
Oh, yes.
And she just let me be sassy and improvise and
Pick French fries out of her hair. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of that show was improvised, which
was it? Okay.
was a great time. It was a great time.
And comedy. So comedy is to me one of your strong points. Who makes you laugh as a comedic actor or?
I am really obsessed right now with Gianmarco Ceresi. I hope I'm not butchering his last name, but he's a comedian that I follow on social media. He's hysterical. He's hysterical. He's lighthearted. He's funny. He doesn't take anything too seriously. I love people who can poke fun at themselves. So he's someone I'm really watching right now. I grew up watching all of the American Pie series, National Lampoon, Van Wilder. So I am a huge fan of campy comedies that don't take themselves too seriously, that are lighthearted, that are not super heavy with drama, I would say.
Mhm.
And I know, but when people ask me what my favorite movie is, I always say Euro Trip, and it seems so. What's the word I want to? I'm trying to be politically correct here. It seems so. It's not an actor's movie.
Mhm.
When you ask an actor, "What's your favorite movie?" people usually expect some Oscar-winning nominated film, and mine is Euro Trip because I like to laugh and I like to have fun, and that's kind of those are the projects I gravitate to.
Mhm. Mhm. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to Liz.
Okay, a couple quick things that I wanted to touch on that you just kind of briefly mentioned that you're not so sure, but maybe you'd want to do one lead as a character. I have the perfect storyline that I thought would be so cool with you guys. If it was you and Cayman Cardiff somewhere in
I'm
Florida
in.
in the nightclub scene.
Sign me up. You said
I may have to write this one for you, just do it. But I was thinking that when I was looking at both your characters and your own personalities, I'm like, yeah, if you know Cayman, you know he's one of the world's biggest goose. I love him to death. Your personality seems like it would go perfectly well together. Now, something that you said many years ago on a certain web series that you did,
Look at his face.
you kept cutting your shirts, and you made the comment of, "When I get famous, I'm saving all these scraps and I'm going to sell them on eBay." Do you still have the scraps, and are you going to sell them on eBay?
I do not have the scraps.
Shame on you. You could be a lot of money.
I don't have the scraps. I don't even remember saying that. That's wild. But I do. I mean, I cut up all of my shirts still.
Do you really still?
I do. I mean, they're perfect gym shirts because they're
Yeah, you can show off a little bit. Yeah.
off. They air out the pits. I don't have the scraps, but I do still have every single shirt I've cut up from like the beginning of time because it's my parents instilled this in me. They're like, you don't ever throw anything away
Thing
that can
away.
still be used. Like you
Yep.
save it because you never know what you're gonna need it for. So I still have
Exactly.
all of those shirts. Maybe I'll sell the shirts instead of the scraps.
Ooh, maybe
More
sign them.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Here's a question for you. What exactly or who exactly drew you into acting? What made you want to do this, as a start at the very back at the beginning?
That's a great question. My earliest memory wanting to be an actor was in the third grade. I had a teacher. Her name is Mrs. Valpuesta. I'll never forget it because it's such a unique last name.
Yeah.
She was also my brother's fourth grade teacher, and she had suggested to my parents to put us in theater classes because my older brother was very shy and introverted. So she felt that would help us break out of our shell. And my mother, of course, did not do that. She put us in the Boy Scouts instead because it was more of a well-rounded education, I would say, as opposed to just theater. Because the Boy Scouts does have a skit division as well. But I mean, there was, knot tying, horseback riding, archery, all of that fun stuff. By the way, you are
Not
looking
time could come in handy, and never mind. We won't go there.
at it has.
Ooh.
Anywho, so I was a Boy Scout, and I did gravitate to the skit developing portions of the Boy Scout contest. And then eventually I liked it so much that I pursued theater as a college student, and then moved out to Los Angeles because New York is way too cold. So Los Angeles was the only other option. But I will say that I was unhealthily obsessed with Hilary Duff growing up. And Lizzie McGuire had a huge impact on me wanting to be an actor.
I think both that whole thing between the Lizzie McGuire show and the whole thing. I think it did for a lot of people. I really think it did. And later on, all the different musical stuff that came out of Disney, as well. So I definitely think that had a big impact. Can you tell me? There were some things that you hit when I was looking through your different things that really surprised me that you were in that I actually remembered because One of the things that I did is I used to, my now 25-year-old niece, we would always sit and watch certain shows before she would go to school in the morning. And several of the shows I particularly liked are like the crime dramas and stuff. But can you tell me what was your big, I finally hit it moment in TV?
I think I know where you're getting at here.
Mhm.
My first major network show, and this is actually a pretty cool story. I don't know if it's cool or sad. But my first major network show was a character called Jimmy Bennett on Criminal Minds on CBS, which is, I think, what, if I'm picking up what you were putting down, is what you
That
were.
was part of it, yeah. Yep, that was
Um,
part of it.
so that was my first guest star in 2016, first major role, which was an amazing experience. Frances Fisher played my kidnapper.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
I mean, spoiler alert, but it's been years. The cool part about that is when I walked into the table read, she remembered who I was from a play that I was in a year prior that she had.
Wow.
And she was like, Jason. And I'm like, oh my God, Frances Fisher not only knows I exist, but remembered my name, which was mind blowing to me. But what was interesting about me booking Criminal Minds, which kind of felt a little bit like I made it, was that I didn't even audition for this role.
Oh.
Not because I had like a specific number of following or I was anybody at all, but only because I had spent the last 2 years auditioning for that show. So by the time this would have been my 7th audition if they had auditioned me for this role. By the time it got to that, the casting director called my agent and was like, "We have enough tapes. We've seen enough. We've
No.
seen enough.
Don't want to see anymore.
In a
Huh?
good way.
We're going to offer him this role because we've, not to be and denigrating towards the show in any way whatsoever, but after 6 auditions, there's only so many different kinds of characters on these shows,
Yeah.
especially for someone who was as young as I was. It's usually like the boy who was kidnapped or murdered, or so I've done all of those auditions. So they called my agent and offered it to me, and I was really confused because my agent called me with my manager on the line, and that's either, if you know from speaking to any actors, that's either a good thing or a really bad thing. So I hadn't auditioned for anything in about a month, and I'm like, why are they both calling me? This is it. I'm gonna have to move back home and go to law school or something. It's over. My career's over. So they built it up. I was really nervous. And they're like, you booked it. And I was like, booked what? What are you talking about? And then they explained, oh, they called us, CBS called, they want to just offer you the role. I was like, that's amazing. That was mind blown. That's kind of where I was like, maybe I am on the right path.
I definitely think you have been. And would you please answer a question of mine? It's been driving me crazy. Were you in Sex Brought Me to the ER? Oh God, it is you. That was the show mainly that I was talking about that I used to watch with my niece before she would go to school. It would replay constantly. And I'm like, you look very familiar to me.
I was. Wow, you guys did your research. I was on that show. I don't remember the character's name. I want to say it was like Chad or something. But that show, funnily enough, I had not booked that episode. It went to somebody else. But the day before they were supposed to shoot, and if you're familiar with the premise of the show, it's usually campy stories about how people end up in the ER because of a sexual activity they were exploring.
Retired nurse myself, so yeah, I've had a few of those calls.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can tell you.
I bet you've got some wild stories. This episode was my character's dad was sent to the ER because of a toy that was lodged inside of him by his wife, my mother. So the kid who had booked the role originally called the night before and said he was no longer available. I don't know what happened, but they called me because I was the only other actor who had auditioned that fit the sizes of the wardrobe they had already bought for the
Wow.
other character.
Oh my.
Well,
So
yeah.
a lot of
Works.
times it's just being available at the right time and
Ready to go.
ready to go, saying yes, because you never know. And I remember the costume director on set let that info slip because no one was supposed to know. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You weren't supposed to find out. Like, I don't want you to feel bad about it." And I was like, "I don't feel bad. I'm on set. The paycheck is in my name. Things
Yeah.
happen."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to either toss it back to Michael or Marsha. I don't know which one of
Yeah,
you wants to
toss
take
it back to me. I've got a question in the chat room. So
Alrighty.
okay. Now this one, I think I know what they're trying to say. As a fellow actor, how do you support yourself? Or did you have some money when you started acting? And I think you kind of touched on it a little bit so far, but I get to say the name again. Shaka Boom Shaka Locks. You know,
Oh,
so
hey.
you know,
The
they want to know.
He's lighting up the chat room. I did not have money when I started acting. I still don't have money. Life is hard. I did a lot of odd jobs when I first moved out here, just because LA is expensive. Pursuing acting is expensive.
Yeah.
Like you have to have. They charge actors for everything. We have to, in order to have access to auditions, you have to have a subscription to casting websites. I am subscribed to 6 to look for jobs. They all charge you a membership fee yearly. They charge you to upload your headshots. They charge you to upload your reels. Then you have to
charge. Yeah.
You have to take acting classes out here just so people know who you are, and they're not cheap out here. You have to get headshots taken. You have to get them edited. You have to have your reel edited. You have to basically actors get charged for breathing. Literally. So it's very expensive. Now, luckily, I can support myself with just acting, which knock on wood, because who knows how long that'll last. You never know. It's a very volatile business.
Yeah.
But when I first moved out here, my first job, I was a server at Olive Garden. I lasted a day.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
So I did the whole training process because they give you like the food to try and the wine to try. And I was like, this is going to be a great job. Day one on the floor, I spilled a tray full of like waters and sodas all over a table, all over their iPhones. And I turned around like, I quit. And my manager, yeah, okay. We see that. So I did that. I worked at Lucky Brand for a while. I was a personal assistant to this lady who had a candy company. So my first 3-4 years out here, there were a lot of odd jobs in between the acting, because you can't have a 9-to-5 job and pursue acting at the same time unless you have a really cool boss
Yeah.
who let you be like, hey, I have an audition. Can I dip for 2 hours and come back? By the way, it's never 2 hours because it takes an hour to get anywhere in Los Angeles. And then by the time you get back to work, your shift's over anyway. So it's really hard to maintain a steady flow of income when you're first starting out, unless you're very lucky to have parents who are in the financial position that they can support you.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were not, although they are in the emotional position to support me.
Which is good.
Which is almost slightly better,
Yeah.
I would say. Just putting that out there, because there's never been pushback or anything from my parents. They want me to be happy. They want me to pursue this. But financially, it's been a little bit of a difficult ride. I will also say is because he said as a fellow actor, if you are starting out, try to say yes to as many projects as possible, because you never know what'll hit, especially when you're starting. And I know a lot of actors who have been out here same amount of time as I have say no a lot more often and then are a little frustrated as to why they don't work as much. Obviously, don't compromise your morals or your integrity for any job you're not comfortable taking on. I clearly am comfortable with a lot of different things, as you've seen, given your research. So try to say yes as much as possible and never stop pushing forward, because I also know a lot of actors who I've been very lucky to always be represented from the moment I moved out here. I do know a lot of actors that sign with agents and managers and then stop looking for work because they believe that their agents should be responsible for that. That's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go over to Marcia.
Okay. You'll have to help me with, you've done so many verticals, especially. I saw on your reel a really funny scene. You'll have to tell me which one this is from. I believe you are it's a wedding, and you are either the photographer, and you have the bouquet in your hand, and you're
Yes.
telling the bride what to do, and kind of flirting with her groom, I think. So
Yes. It's what's it called? It's so the original name for that one was oh my God. I know what you're talking about. That was I have a list of all the verticals I've done. And it was pretty early on. Oh no. I
or
don't
maybe you can tell us after.
Yeah.
We'll tell
remember.
people.
The Heiress and Her Three Princes.
Oh, that's right. It was that one. Yeah.
The Heiress and Her Three Princes. That one was a lot of fun because it was pretty early on. I have it listed as my third one. So it was pretty early on. Still didn't really have an idea of what they were, and the scripts were still being translated directly over
From Chinese, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So the translations weren't always the best.
Clear.
And I walked on set because I had no idea. The lines did not make sense. I walked on set, and the director pulled me aside and was like, "So we know it doesn't make any sense. Feel free to have fun with it. Just, change the words so that they make sense for you." And the one note she really wanted me to touch upon was he was dancing around it. She was like, he needs to be fun and loud and big. And I was like, gay?
Yeah.
No, that's not what I mean. And I was like, you can say that. You can just say that. Just say he's gay so that, we can move on. We can do this and we can all go home. So all of those lines were completely improv.
Oh, wow.
They were all
Wow.
scripted because the photographer was only meant to have one line and it made no sense. It was, I don't even remember what it was. It was something about like, you stand next to him and you're his trophy or something like that. I don't really understand. A lot of the times also for supporting actors, we don't get the full script. So we have no idea what's happening. We only know what's happening in our scenes. And what I found to be successful about these verticals is just go as big as possible from the beginning. Everybody else knows what's happening. Like the director has read the script, the producers have read the script. We're not given access, so I'm just going to go as big as possible, and they'll tell me to pull back if it's too much.
And I've seen that or heard that sometimes you are able to improvise more with a supporting role.
Yes, yeah, because they're kind of like the leads are usually the straight men that have to like follow the story from not straight like orientation wise, but like straight when it comes to character.
Yeah.
They follow the story from point A to point B, and they have a very clear objective. The supporting roles are these quirky characters that come in as like obstacles to either derail the story or help the story along. So they've got to be bigger than life, because they have to give the leads something to react to. Sometimes they'll let us play around if we have ideas to be like, this could be funnier, or this could be scarier, or this will be so cool if we went this direction instead. So yeah, they do let us play around a little bit more, and there's a little bit more
Mhm.
opportunity for improv, whereas the leads usually have to be kind of word perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another reason why I like playing supporting characters.
See there, and I also heard about. We love to go behind the scenes and bloopers and things like that. And I understand that you had quite a kind of blooper, but physically you had something go on where you kind of got an injury.
Yes, yes. I had my nose broken on set of a vertical, uh, which was shocking because nothing like that had ever happened to
Mhm.
me before. Um, but it was definitely it was a thing that happened. I'm trying to navigate it, but
But you were a trooper. I mean, you know you.
so the funny thing is, my nose was broken on the first take of the day.
Oh
This
my
is like
goodness.
10 a.m. First take up, first scene. Um, we didn't really rehearse the stunt. I wasn't really aware that there was a stunt going on, which is part of the problem because these move so fast that sometimes things get lost. Um, Going forward, I hope they slow down a little bit. Is all I'm saying. Like 14 pages a day is a little excessive. Can we do
Yeah.
maybe 8 or 9 at a day so we can spread it out a little bit? But I understand the budgets are also not giving of that.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
anyway, it was the first shot of the day, first take. They didn't even catch the punch, which would have been great because at least, yeah, my nose was
It would
broken.
have been
But
real.
you can use the scene where my nose was broken. The camera didn't even catch it.
Oh wow.
It was pretty, we were pretty unprepared as a team, I will say, for this moment. Um,
Mhm.
so my nose was broken, but we still had like 8 pages of dialogue to shoot. So
Wow.
I waited till my nose started bleeding. They asked me if I could stay to finish before I went to the hospital. Um, and I did. And I finished the next 4 hours on set and then went to the hospital and had my nose reset.
So did you come back the next day, or what happened?
That was just a 1 day shoot for me.
It was a thank goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah.
Wow. And so are you able to, you've done so many roles, are you able to watch all of your work? Do you?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I have not seen a full vertical that I've been in all the way through. Um, we're not, unfortunately, at this current moment in the business, we're not given access to watch our shows. So we would have to purchase them as an actor. And at that point, it would be like diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, so I have not been able to see a full vertical. I've seen clips. Some of the apps are getting a little bit better at sending us our own footage so we can use for reels. Um, but I've only really seen clips of some of the roles I've been able to portray. I haven't even seen all of them.
Well, how could you? What? How many of you've done? 70?
70, whatever.
73.
70 plus.
Three.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane. And one thing, I'm originally from New York City. I was born and raised in New York City, and I heard you talk about New York City is cool, but it's literally cold. So, did you actually spend a winter in the city?
So I went to when I was trying to decide between New York or Los Angeles, I did a semester at the New York Film Academy in, I believe it's in Soho.
Yeah.
Uh, and it was amazing. So I was staying in the Upper West Side, which was terrible commute because I'm like, oh, I was a fan of Gossip Girl, so I wanted to live on like the Upper West Side.
Perfect.
I'm living my Gossip Girl fantasy. But then
Hmm.
the New York Film Academy was so far south. So that was one thing. Public transportation and me, I was like 19 at the time, so I was a lot thinner. I was pretty small. Um, getting tossed around on the subway every day. There's a
Been
huge
there.
yeah, there's a huge smoking culture also in New York,
Mm.
especially in the film industry. Like people are like, "Oh, let's go outside and have a smoke in between classes. So my skin was breaking out. It was freezing. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I grew up in Miami, Florida. The coldest it ever got was 64, maybe. So I did spend some time in New York. I'm props to everybody who can do it. I could not.
Well, at least you tried. You gave
I
it, and you had pizza. I'm sure you had New York pizza.
Oh
and
yeah, all the time. Pizza, Central Park hot dogs. I was like immersed in the culture. I watched so many Broadway shows. I would love to be able to live in New York one day, but maybe on like a Central Park West apartment with like
big plans there. All right.
yeah, I would need a lot of money.
Okay, back to Liz.
You are actually an incredibly accomplished model, and you have been in so many different magazines and things. How exactly, because from watching the other stuff, I know you've always taken care of your body, and worked for the definition of it. But how exactly did you manage to land all of these different modeling, jobs for the different magazines?
Vanity.
Hey, it works, baby. It works.
I'm kidding. It actually also started off accidentally, which is why I say you should say yes to as many projects as you can, because the vertical started accidentally, the modeling started accidentally. A lot of it was an accident. I had a friend who was a photographer. His name is John Cole. He's still a photographer, very accomplished actor also. And he needed someone to help him test lights and photography and different ideas and backgrounds that he had. So I started hanging out with him and just shooting for fun. And the pictures were pretty cool. So I was posting them on social media. And then slowly other photographers were like, oh, do you want to shoot with me? Can I shoot with you? Can I? And I was like, sure, why not? It's like when I was doing the YouTube, I had so much free time. So why not hang out, get some pictures taken, have a glass of wine, spend some time creating art. Not that I consider myself art, but I mean, the photographer's work is pretty artsy. And slowly that kind of took off. And then magazine editors would reach out and be like, can we use these photos and interview you about this project that's coming up? So I'd ask the photographers and be like, are you okay with this? And they're like, yeah, go for it. So that kind of snowballed into what it later became, which I think I think I'm somewhere in the vicinity of maybe like 27-ish magazine covers. Those I don't have a list for. I don't really keep track, because it was not something I was actively pursuing. It just kind of happened in tandem. And it's great marketing for my acting career.
Oh, yeah. And along those same lines, that we're talking about you being modeling and then you doing the acting as well. I have got to know the answer to this. You have been in multiple music videos, including from one of my favorite bands, which is Five Finger Death Punch. How did you manage to land into music videos?
I am such a fan of music videos. I am like, my favorite thing to do is, this is going to sound really dramatic. I promise it's not. It's just what my favorite thing to do is to have an entire bottle of wine overnight and watch music videos and cry. It's my de-stressor. It's just like, it's funny because the other day I was texting my partner and I was texting him Demi Lovato music videos, and I was like, this song is amazing. It's so, and he's like, how much wine have you had? I'm like, you don't know me. I've had none. He's like, that's a lie. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's a lie. I've had a few. But I've always been a huge fan of music videos. I love being on set for music videos because the pacing is as quick as verticals, but usually there's no dialogue. It's all emotion based. Right. There's a lot of creativity. The artists have a vision. You get to hang out with the artists on set. So I kind of feel like a groupie when I'm on set, because I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But that, I believe, no, Five Finger Death Punch wasn't my first music video. My first music video was Steve Grand's, what's it called? I don't remember. the name of the song, but it was a music video for he hates being referred to as a country artist, but that's what all the outlets say. So that's the only he's like
Yeah, no, I know the video you're talking about, and I can't think of the song title
Back
either.
to California.
Yeah.
That's what it was called.
Yep.
So that was my first music video, and I booked that one self-submitting and auditioning through these casting websites because I looked like a younger version of the actor. And that's when I fell in love with music videos, like being on set for them. And then Five Finger Death Punch came afterwards. That one was an interesting audition. It was in some office building up in the valley. And the only thing they wanted us to do for the audition is look into the camera and cry to see if we could cry on cue. And I was like, okay, sure. So I drove all the way up to the valley, was in the room for literally 10, 15 seconds, and then drove 2 hours back down to my apartment.
Really wanted to make you cry.
They really, yeah. By the time I got there, I was actually in tears. Traffic is no joke.
It's horrible. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But on something kind of fun that I wanted to touch bases real quick with, you did a video years ago where you remember you would kind of talk about trying different things. I wanted to adopt you and reteach you certain Japanese foods. Because between the candy that you had an issue with, and then you tried to open the marble soda. And I'm like, oh my God, you can't figure this out.
I did not do it. I remember that. That is so, wow, you really did your research.
Well, I'm a huge Japanese fan, both the foods and the culture and everything else. So that really kind of got me on that one. And my daughter has been raised up, since she was an infant with Japanese foods and marble sodas with my kids and all. So it was like, I was looking at you going, oh, baby, you need to come to my house. We're going to teach you the right way.
I'm in. Let's do this. I'm coming over. It's a lot harder than it looks, I will say.
It is if you don't really know it. You have to undo it and then push it down real hard.
I had no idea what I was doing.
You learned. Hey, that's all that counts. Excuse me. You had also said that you really love going to like Japanese restaurants and things now. What is your favorite type of Japanese food?
I really like sushi. There's a revolving sushi Japanese restaurant really close to where I live called Kura Revolving Sushi.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. They have edamame, they have miso soup, they have sushi, they have I love anything with eel in it.
Oh God, yes.
Anything with eel.
Unagi is like the best thing in the world. We eat it for dessert, I swear to God.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Mochi. I love everything that this restaurant has to offer. And the fun thing about them is they've gamified the way they serve food. So it's a revolving belt and you pick your plate. But once you're done, you put it in this little slot and there's a screen and it counts how many plates you've had. And every 5 plates, there's like a little video that plays with like animation and then like one of those little like gumball containers rolls down. There's no gumballs in it, but it's like little toys. So they'll have like a keychain or a sticker so it's fun because you want to see how many plates you can eat, but you also get rewarded for eating. And I love eating. So it's really interesting how they've gamified the whole restaurant experience. So shout out to them because they've got me hooked. I've been so many times.
Well, one last question before I give it back over to Michael. We know you like cheesecake, but it is fall season. What do you think of pumpkin cheesecake?
I'm not a fan of the pumpkin flavors. I can't do it. It's always kind of tasted a little bit like potpourri to me. Because it's
that's one way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, it tastes like a decoration, which I'm not too fond of.
No, I almost have the exact same concept. It's like especially this time of the year, everything is so oversaturated with pumpkin. It's pumpkin everything. And it's like I'd much rather have, a plain cheesecake, a cherry cheesecake, something like that, than this other
Yes.
stuff. Or even a chocolate cheesecake is good.
Oreo
But
cheesecake, cookies and cream
Mm.
cheesecake, fudge
please
cheesecake.
don't get me started. Now I'm going to be thinking about this all through the rest of the day and have to find one. But
Cheesecake is my favorite dessert.
Jason, I really want to say this has been an absolute pleasure. And if I don't get a chance to say it, before we go off here, thanks so much for doing this. You've been an absolute delight. So.
You guys have impressed me so much with, I'm having flashbacks to earlier on because I had forgotten so much of this, and I was aware it was still out there, but I guess I haven't seen it in so long that it's almost kind of making me reflect and be like, wow, I have done a lot out here. Because sometimes I get in my own head and I'm like, oh, I should be doing more. So I don't appreciate everything that's gotten me here. And this has been a great reminder. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been wonderful. Like I said, your whole acting and everything has made such an arc, with the whole thing. It's kind of a pleasure to go back through and seeing how much you've grown, between the acting and everything that you've done. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Michael?
Yeah, Jason, thank you so much for coming. I know we're going a little over what I said, but I mean, we were having too much fun. So, Jason, I just want to say thank you so much for coming, and please come back again. Just if you want to chit chat, if you want us to turn the Wayback Machine really way back,
We can do that too.
We can do that too.
I'm kind of curious to see what else you can dig up. And also,
Marcia
We
and I
may have
know.
already dug some other up already, but we are saving it for your next visit.
uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that
Part two.
terrible? Yeah,
Now I'm nervous.
oh, don't be nervous. No,
Don't be. We love you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, our audience, sorry I couldn't get to all the questions at the end there, but we are running late. But I just wanted to say thank you all, people out in the chat room and people going to watch it afterwards. Thanks for coming. And we will see you again. And please keep an eye out when Jason will be back with us. Hopefully soon.
Make him
so
come
everyone,
out. Yeah.
take care. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.